Hello and welcome back to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. So many of you had a wonderful time with the Love Your Stash Challenge the creative design team did all February long that we've decided to keep that fun going. Today I have a masculine scrapbook layout for you where we're going to add stamping to the background for added interest. I have these two pictures of my youngest son Clayton blowing milk bubbles, and of course he's poured the milk into a giant salad bowl nonetheless. And he's got this bowl haircut going on, and this was too long ago, so I don't really know if my husband or myself would be to blame for that haircut. The Espresso pattern paper is from Sweet Safari, and this avocado green I think is from a mix-in paper pack. For a more playful vibe, I'm going to kind of tilt my photos so they're kind of off center, and then this I wanted to bring the black because there's black in my son's shirt, and I thought these white bubbles kind of mimicked the milk bubbles, and I thought that was cool. That is from the Happiest Place collection. And now we're ready to bring in some stamping. So I want to create background interest. This is Strokes of an Artist. It's no longer available, but it's just basically like a background texture stamp. So I have a little corner bracket here. I'm stamping it down in Sapphire ink, and then I'm going to scoot these to the side, and that way I can bring my pattern paper back over the edges of it so it appears as if it's coming out from underneath the paper. I don't know how long I passed this stamp set up because I'm like, yeah, I could do that myself, or, it's just not very exciting. But I'm telling you, I use this all the time. So these are really cool for adding interest to your layout. Now I got a little ink on the edge of my block, so I'm wiping that up so I don't transfer it to my cardstock here. And I know I want my title coming out from the lower left-hand corner, so I'm building up color where my title is going to be. So as I mentioned earlier, this is my son Clayton, and he took a salad bowl, filled it up with milk, got a straw, and proceeded to blow bubbles. I, of course, asked him why he can't just drink out of a glass like a normal person, and he was like, well, duh, Mom, I want to see how big I can get this mound of bubbles, and it wouldn't be very impressive if it was just in a glass. Like, of course, why didn't I think of that? This kid learned to do dishes at a very young age because he was always conducting experiments and just making a mess. Character building, I suppose, right? So I'm ready to work on my title, and this is the These Are My People collection, which had a lot of kind of like pinks and peach in there. You wouldn't think to go look at that paper pack for this layout, but the title is perfect. It says Good Times, and I think the vibe goes with my layout really well. So I'm not done stamping on my background yet. I have a vision in my head of something I want to do in the upper left-hand corner that I think is going to be cool. So stay tuned for that. I did remove the adhesive off of the back of this title so I can kind of play around with it and make sure before I wanted to commit. So we'll have to re-adhere those when we're ready. From that same sticker sheet, there are these word phrases, and they say making every moment fun. And I'm like, oh, that is just too perfect. Plus, it's that same sapphire blue, and that repeats the color we introduced in the background stamping. I didn't have a whole lot of embellishments to use on this layout, so I dug through my stamps and I did stamp an image with the Urban stamp set, which is what you see right here. It says, "That was so awesome." So I'm ready to get to that background stamping. I have this from my stash. It's called Moments in Time, and it has like a clock theme to it. We're going to do a little tone on tone. So I grabbed my Pebble ink pad here, and we are using this strip of numbers. I'm going to get that good and inky, and then just stamp it right across the top, slightly going off the edge of the paper there, and give it a good press. And I think, ooh, that's going to look cool. So I want to build this up. We're going to layer. I'm bringing back in that same Pebble ink, and then this is a circle. It has like some textured lines to it from that same stamp set. So you could do this with any circle. And then I'm bringing in even a smaller circle we'll do right up at the top. This is actually like a gear because again, this is like a clock. So it'd be gears to a clock. And I'm overlapping, just kind of randomly stamping. We'll do one there. Maybe a little more up top here, and I like the way this is coming together. It's creating kind of like a corner frame piece here. Now I want to add some word phrases. So this is notice the details, again for my stash, and I'm going to use a slightly darker shade of ink. This is the charcoal, and we will stamp our first one right up top here, and this says captured moments. Let me peel that off and bring in my second stamp. This one says this makes me happy. Captured moments and this makes me happy, those are kind of universal and you can use them for just about anything, I think. So there comes a point in time when we need to stop and not get crazy with the stamping, but I do want to repeat that on the lower right-hand corner and beneath my title. So I'm adding just a few of those tiny little gear pieces just for continuity and to repeat those elements and lead your eye around the page. And I think that looks nice and balanced, and I'm going to stop there. I'm noticing the word good in my title doesn't really stand out because I used that dark sapphire behind it. So I'm taking a white gel pen and I'm just trying to put highlights on the front of the letters where you would imagine the light hitting them. And it looks okay. I got a little carried away, made my lines bigger, and I was like, yeah, but it grew on me. You'll see here in a minute, I keep going and I probably should have stopped, but I got a little carried away. But the whole point was to make the word good stand out more, and I think it did accomplish that, so I'm going to take it as a win, right? So when I finally stop messing with my title, I do bring in some more embellishments. This little chipboard circle is from the Urban Collection, and then I love to bring in metal elements on my boy layouts. So these are some retired metal, like they're silver kind of arrows or triangles really, but they can look like an arrow. So I'm going to put 3 at the top in a row here, and then I'm going to repeat that at the bottom of the layout. They're not quite sticking, so I'm going to have to go back and straighten those, maybe with a little glue dot. I like the way metal looks on my boy layouts and my masculine layouts. I just think it's a fun, element to incorporate. So we'll get these guys straightened out. We want our ducks in a row, so to speak. Everybody pointing the right direction. So there, this layout is completed. I'm happy with that background stamping. I pulled some stamps that I haven't used in a long time, and I think it looks cool. It's definitely something I'm going to try again. I hope you guys are inspired to check out your old stamp sets and put them to good use, creating background interest. If you have not seen all the Creative Design Team's Love Your Stash videos, you can check that out in this playlist right here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.